Hey friends, this is Sean Washburn from YourExcelTutor.com, and you're watching 30 Tips in 30 Days, and today's tip is certainly one of my favorites. If you're like me, maybe when you eat a meal, you like to save some choice pieces for the end, like maybe it's the pancake that's got the butter and the syrup, or it's that French fry that's just perfectly cooked and exactly the last one you want to end with. So in the Excel world, for me, this is one of my favorites, and we're going to have a few more as we finish out these 30 tips. Today's is on conditional formatting, and if you've never touched conditional formatting, even if you have, maybe you can see some things in these tips that are ways that you haven't used it yet. So there are lots of ways that I don't even use it, but I'm just going to run through some ways that can really help you out and see things more visually. So to start with, we're going to look at this list over here. So we've got this list of yeses and nos. When you look at it, if you blinked at it and I asked you then to count how many, I mean, you pretty much have to go through manually and just kind of step through each one to count them all, because it's kind of hard to differentiate. But if you made them different colors, it would be a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this whole thing, and if you go to the Home tab, there's this conditional formatting button, and you click on it and you get a little drop down. There's a lot of different options. We'll use some of these other ones as we go along, but we're going to start with this top one. And this is basically, I mean, you can see what's in here: greater than, less than, equal. If you're looking for certain text inside of something. What we're going to say though is equal. And we just want to look and see, so I'm going to bring this over. We want to look and see which ones are yes. So as soon as I click that in there, you see it already kind of highlights what it's going to do. And there's a default in here. You can pick from these, or you can actually go to custom. If you go to custom, you can choose it to be however you want. We'll do that here in a second. But we're going to say green. So I want all the yeses to be green. So now when I look, for sure the ones that are fewer, like the no's, I can tell right away there's 3 no's. They pop right out. We could do it opposite, and we could have said, let's go to manage. So if you already have one in here, you go to manage, and you can see here's what the rule is, here's what it's going to look like, and there's the range it applies to. So you can double click there, and we'll just change this to no. Hit OK. So now, even better with a lower number like that, we can find it really easily. So that's probably the most basic way, is to have things you're looking at equal to or whatever. Here we could say similar. We could say, how about values that are greater than, I don't know, 110. So greater than, it plops one in there, just kind of puts a number in there to begin with. So you can say 110, and if we took that up to 120, you'll see that more of them start to drop out. So that's another way you can use it. If you want to clear cells out, you can just highlight those cells, go here, clear rules, and here's an option here. You can either do from selected cells or the entire sheet. Sometimes you may open a file, or even if it's your own file, you may not realize that you have conditional formatting set up on some cells. So if you're not sure and you want to just kind of wipe everything out and have a clean slate, you can do this entire sheet, and that'll wipe out the whole thing. So we're going to do that. So now they're all back to normal. So as we looked at, you've got the greater than, less than, text that contains. So in this case, let's say the text contains Monday, but we're going to just say, we're going to put MON in there. So same thing. It's going to find just now. If we say day, obviously they're all going to show up. So you can see how it works there, the options for the defaults. And if we look through, there's dates, things like that, duplicate values. Those are all pretty good too. More rules. If you click more rules, it's just going to give you more options here. That's a little more complicated, but you can go through here and play with these, and we'll get to some of those in a second. So the next step would be, so I like this one. Let's go to this other one here. So this is really useful if you have there's tons of numbers in here and data, but let's say I want to see how they all stack up. That's where this next phase is. You can do this one. These next 3 all kind of help with that, or next 4. So you could say, let's highlight this instead, just so we can see it. So you can say, top 10 items, and it's going to show you the top 10, and you could change that to top 9, 8, 7, go down like that. And again, you can change the color and how you want them to show up. So that's one quick way you could see those. What is the top, what's the top one that's in there? Well, that's going to show you the top one. Now what you have to be careful of, we'll hit OK here, is if I highlighted this whole thing and did that, so let's go top 10, we go down to top 1. So a couple other ways that I like to use this, and these are probably where I don't use this top 10 thing as much as these next ones. So like I said, you can look in here and see really any way that you want to group by range, top or bottom percent. But I really love these next ones. So if you highlight a column and you go in here, they have these data bars, and I think these are one of my favorites. So if you click that, you just hover over there, it's going to show you what it's going to look like. And I found this to be one of the most effective visual tools for me, because I can see that whole range, and I can see, so we'll click on that. You can see that whole range and see exactly where each of these stand in relation to the other ones in that column. So that's one of my favorites, and you have to be careful of your ranges. If you try to copy things over, paste things, conditional formatting can sometimes, because it's more hidden, it can sometimes get a little sticky, and so you just have to make sure when you highlight this column and you go to manage, you may see there may be multiples in these that are listed, so you have to just make sure that you're looking at the right range. So in this case, applies to G4 to G20, right? So yeah, sorry, it's confusing. So this column G up here and G4 to G20, so that's right. Some other examples in there, you've got solid fill, but then you've got these color scales. Those are nice too. So let's highlight over here. We'll use the color scale. So color scale, same idea. It's using more of like a heat map type of idea, different color scales, and you can change what the colors are and all that. Icon sets, you can see if these are like trends. You can kind of see in that respect using the different icon sets. But again, my favorite are these data bars. This one I use most of the time if I really want to see, as I'm adding new numbers in, I want to see how they stack up to the other ones. That I find that one of the most helpful. And last thing we're going to show here is if I go to, let's say I've got a task list that I've created, and this is going to show the example of how, well, a couple of different examples. One is this cell right here. If I go to conditional formatting and manage, you're going to see that this cell itself, cell C2 here, has, you'll see there's a drop down here, and there's different status levels, and these are using data validation. And we covered that in a previous tip. If you look at, you got not started, in process, holding, and complete. What I did is I set these up so if you check one, it's going to change the color of that cell. And then what's different from anything we've looked at so far is if you click complete, it's actually going to change the color of the whole row. So you might have seen it when I clicked in here, but this whole row, A2 to C2, is all tied into C2. So when I change this to gray, it automatically changes the whole row. So I use this all the time. I've got a log and to-do sheet that I use, and I've used this functionality here for 10 to 15 years. It's one of my favorites, is to automatically be able to gray out cells, and I find that a lot. Anytime there's a list of items that you're trying to knock off and see what the status is, I find these really helpful. And this is where the conditional formatting can really be, I think, the most powerful, is to have one cell change and have other cells update their look based on that cell. So I'd love to answer any questions. If you've got questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer as best I can. But first thing I would say is just, if you've got tables like this, start playing around with conditional formatting. There's tons of other great tips out on the internet. Go search out there as well. But I hope it's something you can start to use and help you to save time and just visually be able to see things clearer in your data as you're working with your cells. So thanks for checking out this tip, and tune in tomorrow as we'll have one more, and we've got only a few left in the list. So I hope you've been enjoying this 30 tips in 30 days, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.